let's face it, we all don't read terms and conditions and policies that these companies impose on us when they update them. Even when we sign in, we don't really read the guidelines or the community guidelines unless we get, given a warning or a ban or we got suspended for something. And then we read the community guidelines and we try to pull a, well, actually, I did this and your community guidelines say this. I don't really do that, but I will say this. I've been very attentive to the community guidelines on Twitch, probably for the better. One, because I use Twitch TV, I am a streamer on there, so it's important for me to be knowledgeable of those things. And two, I'm even more invested because Twitch is going to update their policy after the feedback that they've received from the sexual content or the lewd content, I should say, that has been on an uptick on Twitch TV. Now, we need to talk about how all this started. For those that are out of the loop on the whole thing, I'm gonna get you up to speed real quick before we even touch in on this policy change that's taken effect today or yesterday. So what's going on is we have this Twitch TV platform. For those that don't know, Twitch TV is basically a platform where you can live stream your content. You can play video games, you can dance, you can sing, you can play instruments, you can cook, or you could just sit down like I'm doing right now and just chat with your viewers. You can do that. So Twitch has been around for a very long time. I think around the 2010s. Then, Twitch TV back then was only meant for gaming, to the point where it was some sort of policy where if you wasn't streaming video games, you would get banned or your stream would be taken down. Like, any content that was streaming on Twitch TV had to be video game related. If you wasn't streaming a video game, you would get banned. But all that changed in 2016 when Twitch started to become more lenient with the content that you could broadcast. So now, if you want to, stream yourself cooking, a 3-course meal, you're more than welcome to do that. If you wanted to stream yourself, dancing to some music or doing like a live DJ performance or whatever, you're more than welcome to do that. There was no limit. Then we had, IRLs. Now, IRL is sort of like what I'm doing right now. Is basically a genre on Twitch TV where you could just sit down and chat with viewers. You're not gaming, you're not doing anything physical, you're not displaying any sort of, say, talents of some sort. You're just chatting with your viewers. And IRL streams are pretty successful. They're pretty successful because it's a time for a streamer to sit down and chill with their viewers and their subscribers and their followers. Sometimes you don't want to watch video games. Sometimes you just want to connect with your viewers. I think that's great. Later on, I think this happened sometime around, say, like 2021. Around 2021, we had this trend that happened on IRL streams. And we were having, content creators, mainly were women, but we had content creators who were streaming themselves in hot tubs, pools, jacuzzis, and they would chat with their viewers. The issue with it back then, at the very least, was more so the fact that, Twitch used to be very strict when it came to what you were wearing in your live stream and what can be perceived by the viewers as something that is sexual. Some things like, say, like a bikini, for instance, was something that could be sexualized and wasn't allowed on Twitch TV. Twitch TV noticed this and they saw that there was an increase in popularity for hot tub live streams. They were caught in a little bit of a dilemma. Now, on one side of Twitch TV, they were very strict with, again, sexual content. Like, bikinis weren't even allowed. You weren't even allowed to wear bikinis or bathing suits or anything like that. You had to be covered, your chest, it has to be covered. You can't have, like, any sheer clothing or anything see-through that didn't really count as a coverage of some sort. But then on the other side, Twitch is a business. And hot tub streams, and again, I don't want to generalize, but I will say, to play it safe, mainly women was making Twitch a lot of money in that category. Hot tub streams were in IRL, and Twitch was getting a lot of feedback saying, like, we don't like these hot tub streams in the IRL because the moment you click on the IRL category, the first top 10 streams, most of them were all just, women in a hot tub. That was really just it. Twitch decided, all right, we're going to make hot tubs like a whole category. So now you had IRL streams, and then you had hot tubs, pools, and jacuzzis. So they actually had their own platform. So they thought this would be pretty good because now if you want to watch hot tub streamers, you could just go to that category. And this will separate, the demographics that want to see that and people that don't want to see that on, their feed or anything like that. That was a thing. And, I'm not going to lie to you. Content creators made a lot of money behind that. There was some controversy behind it, like as far as like companies that didn't want to advertise their stuff on there. There were stories on female content creators that were being pressured by their viewers or their followers to do a hot tub stream when they didn't want to. And you had some people that did it because they felt like, hey, if you do a hot tub stream, you're gonna blow up. You're going to go over the moon with popularity. But then, of course, you got that demographic of people that just want a hot tub stream because they just find you attractive. They just want to see you at least, semi-nude, if you will. So after the whole hot tub stream charade, things kind of quieted down for the moment. But then we started to notice content creators just breaking the boundary line on what is allowed on Twitch TV and what isn't allowed on Twitch TV. And that involved many, ways and loopholes that it was just taken advantage of, such as there was this one thing that I saw. I'm just going to show it to you real quick. It's basically a content creator, a streamer. I think her name is Morg P or Morg Pie. I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but this is she's wearing like a green screen booty shorts and she's playing Fortnite, but she's projecting her Fortnite gameplay on her clothing that is made of green screen. So basically you're watching a live stream where you can watch this female content creator play Fortnite and you can look at her ass at the same exact time, which I think is just peak performance, by the way. I think that's actually crazy. But there were many other, ways that people were just taking advantage of this Twitch meta, if you will. I think this whole Twitch meta thing just came up because of hot tub streams, because people saw it as this is the easiest way to get your viewers and your popularity up. Just, take off a couple articles of clothing, don't show your genitals, don't show your tits and everything, and then that's it. You're just going to blow up. So this Twitch meta involved, say, like, for instance, you had a content creator that would be completely topless, or she would imply that she's nude, but there would be a censor bar. So she would be, playing video games, chatting with her viewers, and it would look as though she's topless, and she may not be topless. She might be wearing like this, heart shapes around her tits, and she just so happens to have a censor bar around to give off the impression that she is completely nude. And, Twitch, again, was caught in another dilemma. Again, a lot of these content creators were making Twitch a lot of money, but they didn't want to shut that down because you're seeing a new source of income, and Twitch did not want to let that train stop. So Twitch was addressing it. They were trying to find a mid-ground. So then Twitch decided in December to implement a policy where you were able to stream content that may be sexual, but there needed to be artistic context behind it. And oh boy, did Twitch just open up another gate of hell. It wasn't even just content creators that were just like doing the things that they normally do. You had content creators that were just artists, I should say. Artists that were just drawing pictures of like furries and video game characters with long schlongs that if they were to just drop it on the table, you would just hear that. And you would just draw pictures of just anime girls with like large bazongas, like cannons. It was just squirting milk everywhere. It was so freaking crazy. And after they implemented that policy, 24 hours later, Twitch reverted back and they said, okay, we did not expect y'all to go all out this much. Like, no pun intended, Twitch gave a community like an inch, and the entire Twitch community that was around that kind of content just gave Twitch like a whole fistful of that. And Twitch was like, okay, that's too much, that's too much. We're going to dial it back, and we're going to bring this back to the drawing board. So there was that. They kind of shut that down and everything. And again, there was just content creators that was just kept pushing the envelope. What it's going to take to get somebody banned, and what can you do to bypass that ban? To the point where it's like, it's almost like me like pointing a finger at you, but I'm just about touching you, but I'm not touching you. That's kind of what they're doing right now. And there was just a lot of that stuff going on later on where you had a lot of, again, female content creators that were getting very creative with dancing around that policy. And one of the live streams that I saw when I was doing a little bit of my research, if you will, there was one where there was a female content creator that was just on a board, like a Wii Fit board, and I don't even know what the name of these things are, but they like shake. It's like you stand on it and it shakes. So when they do like a 2-panel stream, one side of the stream is showing, you know, the girl and everything. Most cases she's in like a bra or a bikini, if you will, and she has like a pool in the background because Twitch had a policy where you can't be in a bikini on stream unless you had a pool in the background. But they would have a pool in the background, they're on a board that's shaking, and then on the second side of the stream is another camera that's only focused on her ass. It's just crazy. And again, you had other streamers that will say, sit on a transparent chair. Again, they will have a pool in the background. She's in a bikini. She's oiling up her body. And she will have a transparent, you know, bar stool or chair, if you will. And she will have a camera underneath the seat so that on one side, you can see her. You see her body and everything as she's sitting down. And then on the other side, there's another camera. A starfish cam is what they call it, is a starfish cam that is literally looking up underneath the seat and is transparent. So you can actually see her ass sitting on the seat. Like, you can see probably like her anal folds if she was to just move herself a certain way. It's absolutely crazy.
But I have a bunch of different species of starfish. I collect them at this point. Let me kick it so you guys don't forget that I have a hot tub. I even have a filter in it so it keeps the water moving. You know what happens, right? Tomorrow every girl's gonna be on Amazon ordering a clear chair. That's how that works. They're gonna see I have a lot of views, not know it's because Wubby's watching me, and then they're gonna buy clear chairs, and then every girl's gonna be like, new meta.
These content creators are making Twitch an insane amount of money. Even on a bad day, it's business. But Twitch is trying to find a mid-ground. But I think after this whole tug-and-war situation that Twitch has with the content creators, they're sitting here like, okay, we may have to put a stop to this because this is getting out of hand. So now, which brings us up to today, where Twitch has implemented a new policy where you're not supposed to, you know, showcase your breasts or your tits or your crotch or your groin area or your buttocks for a prolonged period of time. I don't know what prolonged means. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a time limit to that. Like, hey, if you show your ass for more than 10 seconds, we're gonna ban you for that. I don't know what that's going to look like. But the reason why I'm so invested in the Twitch policies, even though I wasn't that invested in the past, is because there are content creators that are actively trying to push the boundary line on what's allowed and what isn't. Now there's this whole talk on like the Twitch meta and how you have these female content creators that are just finding creative ways to bypass the Twitch policies so they can get their viewers up and whatnot. But I will say this, just like a last night or 2 nights ago, I did see like a little list I have on my Twitch account that says like recommended channels, and there was like a few streamers of course, there would be hot tub streamers and everything. And there were a couple girls that were saying, like, hey, this is a rerun of my last live stream, and this is going to be the last stream. Like, there's going to be no more ass and tits moving forward. And I don't know if that means they're going to stop doing that stuff now. Maybe this is, the nail that, locks the coffin in. I'm not sure. I doubt it, though. Twitch people tend to be very creative. Content creators tend to be very creative. If there's a will, there's a way. And I'm pretty sure there is definitely a way. It only comes down to one person who just has like a Jimmy Neutron moment and then decides to air it. They don't get banned. They don't hear nothing from Twitch about it. Then all of a sudden, people start seeing the results, and now everybody in their moms wants to do it too. But other than that, for me personally, I was one of those guys that was like, I don't like this whole hot tub stream thing. I remember back in the days, it was all about video games. You played video games, and now it's all about ass and tits and all these gooners here spending money on all these e-thoughts. But now it's like, I don't really care anymore. I'm not even going to waste like my time and mental energy on that. If Twitch allows it, they allow it. And at the end of the day, like, Twitch is a business. And if these girls are giving Twitch that money, Twitch is going to do their best to find a mid-ground to ensure that they can eat their cake and have it at the same time. And as of right now, I think with the way how things are going, I think Twitch is starting to get a little bit more strict now. But I don't think that's going to stop, these content creators anytime soon. But until then, that's my take on it. I really think that they're really going to find a way. I don't think this is going to do anything. I'm actually really anticipating what these girls are going to do next, because this is going to be freaking crazy. They're always going to find a way, eventually. And people will take advantage once they find out. But other than that, that's about it, y'all.